we need to understand ourselves as gardens in order to fix this. A little bit of a long time ago, almost 20 years, when I was a PhD student, God had me take a neuroscience class. I didn't have to take one, but he told me to take it as an elective, so I took it. And on one of the first sessions of the class, I saw a picture of a neuron for the first time. Everybody know what a neuron is? A neuron is a nerve cell. It is the building block of those thoughts that you love. And every day our neurons pass messages with each other like telephone game to form the thought. And you have about 70,000 thoughts a day. And so one day I was learning this thing in class. I looked at this neuron and it blew me away. Can you guys show me that slide so they can see it? We should run this through you real quick. There it be. On the left is a neuron. On the right is a seedling. Neuron, seedling. Now, I believe Romans 1:20 says, that which may be known of God is clearly seen, being understood by the things that he made. And so if my Bible is true and every man be a liar, then God had to have been intentional, having made plants on the third day and us on the sixth day. Either God accidentally reused a mold, he got bored, he got distracted, or for some reason he chose for my neurons to look like plants. Every single day of creation is insight into how we are biologically constructed. Every day. And on the third day, he made plants, which taught us about our minds. So not only did he plant a garden for us, he planted a garden within us. There's billions of these plants all over your body. And when I saw that, I got so excited because, like all of you, I wanted some revelation about the mind. Yes, God, tell me, you're getting ready to show me something about the mind. And the Holy Spirit says, slow down. Where is the plant planted? You're so concerned with the plant, but where's the plant planted? It's called a plant, like you can't define it outside of planted, like it's dead without where it's at. And so that's when God showed me in the parable of the sower that Jesus calls the soil the heart. But then he showed me something else in the body, because we talk about the heart as a metaphor and our emotions. But then he showed me, go look at the heart. Can you show me the next slide? There it is. In Genesis chapter 2, we get a little recap of creation, and it says that God created man. He formed man in Eden, and then he put him in a garden, planted eastward in Eden. He formed him in Eden, then put him in the garden. He wasn't formed in the garden. He was formed outside of the garden. So the garden was perfect, but the rest of the land was, anyway, he put him in the garden. So now everybody put your left arm out. That's the east side of your body. Now put your hand on your heart. And the Lord planted a garden eastward in Eden. And then it says that a river flowed into the garden to water it. And that when the river left the garden, it broke into 1, 2, 3, 4 rivers. Oh, they can tell me what they want to in biology class. They can tell me it don't have nothing to do with religion. But my God made me with his fingers. He planted the garden eastward in Eden. This is your heart. The Holy of Holies and the temple that you are is your heart. This is where God walked with them and talked with them and told them they were his own. And it's in your body. And so, oh, it gets better. And so, if a seed was planted by these rivers of water, then, next slide, the roots would grow down, and the branches and the leaves would grow up, and on top of the tree there would be a fruit. I would like to introduce you to a division of your autonomic nervous system called the parasympathetic nervous system. This is the parasympathetic nervous system. It is a tree of life in the center of the garden that you are. And this nervous system, this portion of the nervous system, activates to bring us into a state of peace, for us to experience love. It slows down our heart. It slows down our breathing. It helps us sleep well. It helps us digest our food. It helps us feel connected to other people. It gives us creative ideas. It causes peace and love to flow between me and other people. When this tree of life is thriving, I am well. There are studies showing that in people who have chronic suicidal thoughts that have been untreatable with medication and therapy. That electronic stimulation of this tree reduces those suicidal thoughts by more than 80%. Because when the tree of life is well, death is not there. So we ate the tree of the good of knowledge and evil, and that was death. But every day in your body, God is showing you that you still have the choice to choose life. Spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and biologically, you are a garden. Now, here's a challenge. You can take it down if you want. Here's a challenge. When we are afraid, our body is changed. There are a massive group of neurons in your brain called pyramidal neurons, and they have lots and lots of tiny branches. But when the stress hormone cortisol is flooded in as a result of a fear experience, those neurons sprout thorns. I didn't make it up. The neuroscientists don't call it something else, and I'm just calling it a thorn. They call them thorns. And when they activate, they disrupt the process of going from thought to action. I believe my Bible says the thorns sprung up, choked the fruit, so that no fruit was born to perfection. And that's why you keep starting but not finishing, trying but not getting there. And you're perfectionistic and you're being choked because thorns are springing up, because fear is flowing in the soil. Know that one of the most important things I want you to leave here today knowing is that your Bible is no joke. The entire biological fear process is being described in the parable of the sower. So I want you to understand that this is part of our fallen human experience. Now, some of us grow thorns extra. Some of us real thorny. One of the things that brings us into that situation is trauma. When you are born to traumatized mother, or you experience trauma in your own life, you are more likely to experience thorny patches. Here are 5 things that cause that. And these are all good reasons to go to therapy, to go to rehab. Don't say no. Go. Abandonment. Abandonment drains love from the soil and leaves fear in its place. Fear is not the opposite of faith. It's the absence of love. 1 John chapter 4 says, those who are afraid are not yet made perfect in love, because perfect love casts out all fear. So fear and faith are not opposites. Because Jesus was experiencing fear in his body in the Garden of Gethsemane, but does anybody think he didn't have faith? Jesus' body was having a fear response. Those neurons, those thorns were bursting out. Before they ever put a crown on his head, before they ever put a crown of thorns on his head, the thorns on the inside had blood popping out of his own forehead. Oh, he wore that crown of thorns inside before they ever put it on the outside. And it pricked him, and it pricked him, and it pricked him. But oh my gosh, just a side note, don't go crazy because I still got to teach you 2 more things. But did anybody ever notice that Jesus had to shed his own blood on his own body first? His blood was so powerful and so pure that before he could shed it for us, he had to shed it on his own body first. That's why when that blood hit his forehead, he stood up out of Gethsemane and walked down from crying to saying, I am he. And soldiers were knocked off their feet. 5 minutes ago, he was crying in fear. But now, when his blood hit his own body, so I'm real smart and I got all the degrees, but the blood still works. The blood still works. The blood still works. You better not get too smart to plead the blood of Jesus.